rebooted He-Man a couple of years ago, you know?
Yeah, and the animated series coming to Netflix too.
Yeah, so like, you know, that's cool, dude. I mean, Hasbro's really itching on the market that a lot of other studio properties don't do.
Is He-Man Hasbro's also?
I believe he's Mattel.
Okay. I know they're doing the animated show series with Kevin Smith. He's writing it, I think.
Yeah.
And then they're doing an actual live action movie, which I thought was odd that they're doing both at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not taking away from Dolph Lundgren. I'm not even sure if I pronounced his name right.
Lundgren.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. But, I mean, seeing him as He-Man is kind of, like, iconic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
hey, James, you said that Kevin Smith is tied to doing the animated series?
Yeah, I think he's either writing it or producing it. He's attached to it somehow in an overlooking type of way.
That's pretty dope, dude. That's sick.
Yeah. I think he said that they're actually still working on it right now during this COVID and stuff.
Do you know if it's going to be like more of a like adult humor, or if it like?
I would assume it's going to be, especially coming from him, it would be more geared towards like a mature rating,
mature young adult, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then my last bit of news. I know I don't like to talk about these guys, but they been in the news, and there is a rumor going around that ESPN/Fox may be buying WWE.
Oh,
that
I thought you were protesting WWE, sir. What happened to that?
This was such a huge news that I had to bring it up, man.
Yeah. With your Macho Man shirt on right now?
Yeah, with my Macho Man shirt on.
That's WWF.
Whatever. No, don't defend him. Don't defend him, James.
Damn, son.
But I mean, it comes to a shock because a year ago, they were on such high horses and everything, and it's crazy that now, like, a company like All Elite Wrestling is kind of gonna survive, and then Vince McMahon is exiting from the wrestling business. So it kind of doesn't make sense to me, especially because like they have so much stuff that they could do. But the fact that like he should just step down from the company and let Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, and his daughter Stephanie run it.
Stephanie.
And run it. Yeah, because I think they have better ideas, and I think they have a broader sense of what's going on in pop culture more than anything.
No chance. That's what you got.
Get like a new generation of people.
Yeah, I could see that they need a revival. They definitely need a revival because they're kind of really stale right now.
Yeah, and I don't think selling WWE to ESPN or Fox, as it is, like they don't know what to do. I don't think they would ever know what to do with a company like that.
Yeah, like it's more entertainment. It's the sports entertainment.
Yeah. And for them to like want to buy it, I could see the property licensing and stuff, but I don't know if anything they could do with that company. If
McMahon is listening to us, I really, I would tell him to just hold on to it. I wouldn't have him tell him to sell it. Once everything goes back to normal, I mean, for me at least, I would say probably in at least a few months or a year, when things go back to normal, when we are able to have people in stands shoulder to shoulder, it's going to be insane again, and it's going to be explosive like it was. But right now, they're struggling to get by, and then All Elite Wrestling, they're killing it right now. I feel like somehow they were more prepared for this, being a smaller venue or smaller industry.
I think the fact that their networks are backing them up, and the fact that they have another billionaire who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars and that owns Fulham.
Oh, that guy is he's like a funder for All Elite Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. That dude's rolling in money.
Yeah. So I mean, and these
that guy
guys,
looks like a prince, like some king of like India or something.
I think he is from somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah,
Rosie?
that dude has like that sick ass mustache. Yeah, and like it's crazy.
Because I know that they, from what I've heard from their employees, that they've gotten paid for whatever shows that were booked. That they've gotten, they have medical insurance in case they go to they're injured or anything happens. Like they'll get paid for it, which is cool because for so many years, actors, construction workers, any sort of like unionizing is good for certain aspects, and I think unionizing. Sorry, I messed up the word, but having a union for pro wrestling would be way better because you could see some of these guys can barely walk. Some of these guys can't,
especially after they retire.
Yeah, like some of these guys have to go to these conventions to make ends meet, you know? They're counting on you, buying their merch, getting $5 for an autograph or picture, and I think it would be awesome to have a union where they could actually have a retirement where they actually yes, they make millions, but that all goes down the drain sometimes, you know?
Especially dealing with injuries and stuff. That's getting a knee replaced or, you know, rebuilt is an expensive procedure.
Yeah, I know.
I have a question. If they were to sell this over to ESPN or over to a major broadcasting sports network, would they add regulations to it, or would they change the game? You know what I'm saying? Like, would they start treating it more of like a professional sport?
What you said. I don't think that ESPN would know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I just think they're. I mean, of course they want to buy something that's going to make them money, but I feel like they don't know the formula.
Yeah.
Unless they have people. I mean, unless they keep the people who are on it now and just keep them and bring them along to the ESPN side and show them how to run it. But I don't know. I don't see it succeeding.
Vince McMahon should just keep it, dude, and just pass it along to his family. And keep it in there, dude. Because, like you said, people are gonna want to do this after COVID ends or whatever. They're gonna want to watch wrestling, dude. People love wrestling, dude.
On that note, that's my end of my news.
Nice.
Atlas.
Anybody else?
Cool. Want me to go next? I'll go next. Shit. All right. I got a couple things. Let's see. Sylvester Stallone confirms that there's going to be a sequel to The Demolition Man that came out in 1993, and it's currently in development with Warner Brothers.
Interesting.
What you think about that, Wesley? Taco Bell or what? Crunchwrap Supreme.
They'll probably have some sick ass specials for that.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm stoked about that. Is anybody stoked about that besides myself?
That's cool. I'm glad he can still afford himself and hire himself as an actor.
Right? He's like, yeah, I want to do that again. It's gonna happen. Bam.
Yep. Rambo 20.
Dude, I think after him doing all those Rambos, like, he wants to do something kind of more superhero-ish. So him rehashing that stuff. Like Demolition Man, or
it's funny you mentioned a superhero movie because I know I don't know if it's still in development or what's going on with it, but I know he was supposed to be attached to a superhero movie.
Yeah,
of just himself.
You guys did talk about that in a few episodes back, and it was brought up because he was in Guardians and he really liked
Part 2
being in that role. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it because, I mean, it's fucking Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And Demolition Man, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, Demolition Man is tight, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. And let's see, you already touched upon the Star Wars news. That was something I was going to talk about. And then, let's see, one just like random. I have a couple random newses that I wanted to talk about. One of them was COVID related news, obviously, and it has to do with like movie theaters. There's a couple of movie theaters in Texas that have started to reopen, And what they're saying is they're going to have like a security checkpoints before you go into the movies, and have almost like airport style security where they ask you a series of questions and also take your temperature. And if anybody has a temperature more than like 100.4, you'll be turned away. And also there's going to be special seating arrangements for these people. And they've already actually started to do this in some parts of Texas with like independent theaters opening up. Like recently, like as of like yesterday and like Friday, like over the weekend.
I can just imagine how long doing that. I mean, going to the airport sucks ass. I hate going to the airport because of security stuff. And
yeah,
but
it's not
I mean,
fun to be there or to do the job. Like what the fuck? and then going to the movies. Going to the movies is supposed to be a fun time, especially when you're going with your family or your brother, sisters, whatever, cousins, or loved ones, whatever. It's supposed to be a fun time. You're not supposed to go there and be like, okay, kids, take your shoes off. Get ready to have your temperature taken, stuff like that. Answer some questions. To me, that's just going to seem like a tedious thing that's going to cost huge lines.
There's going to be special precautions being taken by these people because it's sort of new for everybody. So one of the mandatory things is like a questionnaire if anybody in your family has been sick or if you know anybody. And then also there are going to be mandatory masks, obviously. Yeah. But the funny thing to me is a lot of these... They better
crank up those ACs because those masks get me hot.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's... My question is for you guys...
And blow the COVID around with that shit.
How are they going to be like... Okay, so you're going to have to obviously get there maybe like an hour early just to go through all of this bullshit for this movie. And a lot of these places that are showing movies are showing old movies, like a throwback movie, like
Back to the Future or something.
Yeah, they were showing Goonies. They were showing Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, stuff like that. But a lot of the movie theaters are not releasing their films until after July. So these people are just at risk going out there to watch a throwback movie you can watch on Netflix.
They want to watch it on.
It's like, man, I know you own this movie on Blu-ray. Just pop it in and watch it at home.
Yeah. So, and this is all stuff that I gathered from like Screen Rant and a couple different news sources on there. And this is happening in Texas. So a lot of this stuff is happening as we speak right now.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about all this, man? What do you think about this, Wesley?
Obviously, going to the movies has been a part of my life for forever. So it sucks that this pandemic has changed life as we know it, and theaters included, and so it's really not my place to bitch about any of that because at the end of the day we have to be safe. But with the whole throwback thing, unless it's at the drive-in where you're in a car with your people that you're quarantined with already, I can't see going out. At least this early in the game to watch, an older movie that we could watch on some streaming services or our own projector or something.
You're creating unnecessary risks.
Yes,
for no reason.
Exactly. Because I know drive-ins are making a killing at this time, bro.
Yeah,
like they're packed to the gills. I know the one in Imperial Beach is like super.
Is it still open?
It's not now. It's not right now.
It's not now.
I think
I know the one here in Santee, they closed it.
They closed.
As soon as they did the mandatory stay-at-home thing, for I think like a month ago, they took everything off the marquee. There's no anything playing.
As far as I know, South Bay is closed right now too. I'm assuming because of the orders,
And also, you guys think like people going to the bathroom, like people would have to go to the bathroom, and then you're like touching stuff.
I feel like drive-ins are going to come back in a huge way, especially because people are going to not want to wait in line for like airport style security to go through to watch Trolls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In LA, they're already doing that. Was it like the Rooftop Cinema Club? Like some of those affiliates have already put together drive-in-esque activities where you can come down with your vehicle and watch all of these movies. So I think you're right, Vic.